Welcome to the Host Planet Playbook, your go-to guide for mastering short-term rentals. In this special series, we're sitting down with 30 of the world's top property managers to uncover what really drives success in the vacation rental industry. You'll hear their stories, learn the key lessons they've picked up along the way, and discover the game-changing tech they use to deliver 5-star guest experiences. If you're serious about growing your STR business, you're in the right place. We've also developed an ebook featuring the stories of every manager in this series, and you can download it for free. Head to houseplanet.club to find out more. In today's episode, we're chatting to Sab Mulligan from Zzzing in Malta. Stand by for a deep dive into island hosting, the importance of brand development, and how to always deliver an exceptional guest experience. This special series is brought to you by Host Planet and Hospitable, the smart AI-powered property management software trusted by hosts worldwide. With Hospitable, you can automate guest messaging, sync calendars across platforms, and manage your rentals with ease, all from one powerful, easy-to-use platform. If you're keen to run your short-term rental on autopilot, try Hospitable today. Visit hospitable.com/hostplanet to see how the platform can save you time, reduce stress, and maximize your earnings. Sab, thank you for being part of the Host Planet Playbook. Let's start with you. What's the name of your company? Where are you located? And how many rentals do you manage?
So, Zzzing, and we are in the island of Malta. We manage 350 units, a combination of vacation rentals, holiday homes, villas, apartments, as well as boutique guest houses, and also now hotels as well. So we'll be hitting the 500 mark by the end of 2025. So scaling fast. Yeah.
Amazing. So tell us, how did you get started in the world of short-term rentals?
Okay, a bit of background about me. So I spent almost a decade working in TV. Then I moved on to a tech academy. That was really fun because we kind of reframed learning. And I learned a lot, especially working with some of the world's biggest tech brands like Adobe, Cisco, Autodesk. Hospitality, I've always had a soft spot for hospitality, mainly because I always thought it's a very happy industry, right? You get to be a part of making memories for guests, right? And leaving a mark there. So hospitality has always been on my radar. And 2.5 years ago, I had the golden opportunity of joining the Zzzing team as head of team. Brand will always be my playground, though. I love brand and humanizing brands as well. So I think now it's getting even more interesting for us now that our foundations are quite solid, I would say.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell us about the growth of Zzzing then. How have you got to this stage where you're now managing hundreds of properties?
So I think when I joined, we had about 40 or 50 properties. And so over the last 24 months, there was increased, very fast growth, basically. Well, Malta is an island, so referrals, of course, are very important. So we work with a very particular type of property partner who always recommends or continues to invest in new properties as well. So then we become, of course, their natural choice. I think word of mouth would be one of the main reasons why we grew so fast. Also, from the very start, we've always been very tech-centric. And the fact that through our tech, property partners had complete visibility on their earnings, right? Full transparency. That, for the island of Malta, 2.5 years ago, was a bit of a game changer. So that made us even more attractive, tech.
Yeah, so I mean, you probably answered the question here, but the next thing was going to be what makes your brand stand out? Is tech the main thing, or what else kind of makes you stand out from the crowd?
Well, in my opinion, the fact that, yes, across all divisions, we are powered by tech. So we're very hungry and eager to be tech first across. And this has definitely been a very important part in our scaling journey. I think another differentiator would be our agility. We can go live now relatively quickly. Unfortunately, we don't always celebrate it, but our teams are really in sync. When you take a step back, it's really nice to watch how our hospitality team and our operations team kind of marry, and move forward quite fast. And what I'm most proud of, our obsession with guest experience. I think we love guest experience only because we have realized that in every booking, there is intention and purpose. right? From a guest point of view. And we are those guests so many times because our team is made up of travelers. So as soon as you put yourself in their position, you understand why they are sometimes angry, frustrated, or, they're feeling the feelings that you would feel if the same thing happened to you. So as soon as you get that, I think it's so important. And I think that's a bit of a differentiator because we remind ourselves and each other daily that we are here. Our purpose is for the guest.
That leads us nicely into the guest experience then. So what are your top tips for delivering an outstanding guest experience?
We are more than a room night. It is about experience. I think that is very important. Keeping it personal. Guests leave they sprinkle so many clues when they actually choose to communicate with us. Right? And if we pick on those clues, that is an opportunity to delight guests and surprise them and also exceed their expectations. So I think making it personal, looking for the clues that kind of really help us stand out. And I would say my third one would be employing the right talent in guest experience. And this is part of our personal journey as well, because you are not looking for individuals who simply want to keep answering the same questions over and over again. A guest experience team in hospitality, they should be fueled by creativity and curiosity. They exist to delight guests. And they are not the people who want to do the mundane and mediocre. That is just a ticket to losing that sort of talent. So to be able to come up with a beautiful system where you have AI agents who handle the day-to-day, always the same questions for every property, on, and then let your guest experiencing team thrive in a space where they get to make an impact on guest experience. I think that is the winning combination, and I think that is what brands should focus to work towards, that sort of combination. I think it's easy. For us, it took us a while, but then when we understood what can be AI and what should be guest experience, as soon as that line is not blurred anymore, then, as they say, the rest is history. You can really move fast.
So tell us a little bit more about Malta then. What are the main challenges and opportunities in the island?
Okay. We are blessed, lucky, grateful that tourists come to us, right? Like bees to honey. So it kind of is easy to get in your comfort zone where, okay, portfolio is growing, always booked. There's no real seasonality, right? So it's always high season in Malta. We have almost 11 months of summer a year. And so for us, again, having a team who is motivated to be better, move forward, get inspired by brands, global brands, which are so much bigger than us, and they're leaving their mark and seeing what they're doing and understanding if we want to kind of follow in their footsteps. I think that doesn't happen automatically. And so you need to wire the team's mindset to want to be better. So I think that's one. Of course, part of the scaling journey challenge has been housekeeping talent, finding the right talent, retention. And what we did this year, which I'm really proud of, is thanks to tech, we are now rewarding based on review scores because money is a motivator, right? And so that we could have only introduced it because of tech, but now that works so beautifully, retaining the right talent. And also because of growth, that's really important because you don't just want to attract. You want to keep your solid leads happy and watch them also kind of grow and move to different positions in the company, whether it is vertical or horizontal. So I would say that's the second one. I think another challenge for Malta is we need to constantly remind ourselves that travelers are booking an island. And sometimes we might not always feel like we're an island anymore. And that kind of starts the downhill of the experience quite fast. You know what I mean? So I think reminding ourselves that guests are looking for the live like a local, the authenticity. Don't kind of try and impress them with the flashiness of being. So they want like Malta. And again, it's easy when you are local to forget that. You need to look at our island, this is what we tell our team, with like a traveler's eyes, with a foreigner's eyes. They see magic more than sometimes we see our magic. I guess this is like common for everyone, right? So it's not just us. But knowing and kind of, again, setting that intention of reminding yourself and everyone around you that this can happen is part of the win. So those are, I would say, challenges.
Yeah, they're great, and I think the housekeeping challenge. It doesn't matter whether you've got hundreds of property or just a couple of properties like me. It's a challenge. It's a challenge wherever you are and whatever the stage of your journey. And incentivizing there, like you are, sounds like a good place to start. So what's been so you've been with the brand for a few years. So what's been the biggest lesson learned for you since you joined Zzzing?
Biggest lesson is that we are not property managers. We are players in the hospitality space, and we form part of the short-term rental playground, basically. But we are hospitality people. Yeah, I think this reframing is really important across. Because as soon as talent start to understand that this is hospitality, yes, we're property managers, but there's also the hospitality side, there's the guest side. We mimic hotels when it comes to cleaning protocols, when it comes to maintenance. Yes, there is that expectation, but we exist because of the experiences that we can deliver, that make us different. And that is all guest-centric. So property managers, fine, call us that, but we are in the hospitality space, and I think that needs a really big spotlight.
Absolutely, yeah. And you were saying that you're focused on the branding elements of things and marketing the property management company. So talk to us about branding and marketing. How do you get that right from the point of view of growing a property management company? And what tips can you share with other management companies out there who perhaps want to follow in your footsteps and grow to hundreds of properties like you've got?
Yeah. Authenticity, enthusiasm, I think are really important. I think understanding and carving out who you want your target audience to be. You can't be everything for everyone. I think that's a lesson, basically, that we have learned as well. So understanding that there are 52 weeks a year, 365 days a year, you're not necessarily for each property looking for hundreds of bookers. When you really start drilling it down, it's that particular family, that particular couple, that particular business traveler. And so each property or each collection within your property can really create kind of that ownership over your audience. I think then when you figure that out, it's speaking to those people. I am 100% forever against cookie cutter approach. A lot of people think that just because you're scaling, it has to become cookie cutter. And I think a lot of people are so very much focused, as we are, on the operational side of things. You kind of forget that there is so much magic in the building of memories in the hospitality space. And that can really kind of trigger a lot of emotions as well for the team. I think as well from a brand point of view, it's all about making people feel the right feelings, the good feelings. Because most travelers would have so much expectation and excitement and delight, and then their surprise, And if you manage to build on that, and yes, operationally you're ticking all the boxes, then one, they're going to have an appetite to spend more, and two, they will give you a really great review, and more importantly, also refer. So I am very much interested in studying at the moment about how we can take the next step and build our tribe of travelers. I think that is really important for us as Zzzing, but also for the space. So what is the expectation of people who are staying in a vacation rental? I think there should be so many masterminds and conversations about that. I think that would be fun.
And what have been the most useful tactics and useful platforms for growing the business from a marketing point of view? Social media or SEO or, working with influencers? Are there certain things that have worked really well for you?
So, uh, d- honestly, we are in the very initial stages of our direct booking initiatives and campaigns. Okay, we have relied so much on OTA channels, and that is fantastic. And they're always going to be part of our mix. I think at this stage, though, where we have collected so much valuable data and we have a better understanding of who the people coming to Malta are, and more importantly for us, why they are choosing to stay with us. Now, this is where we are at the moment. Speaking to these people directly, obviously, we know very much that Malta is very strong when it comes to low cost airlines. We understand exactly where they are coming from, direct flights, so we can really laser focus our campaigns to speak to the people in very particular areas who are thinking of coming to Malta. So it's a mix of, for me, referrals, attracting through social media as well, for sure, SEO, improving our website, but also, again, the brand messaging, what our brand promise is. I think that's really important. And of course, AI. So what is happening with AI and searches and how people are finding their property on any AI platform that you prefer. That's kind of, if we're not all gonna take one step ahead of that, there's a lot of missed opportunity.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, this is the next thing, isn't it? How to make sure that ChatGPT and other similar platforms are recommending you when people say, "I want to go on holiday to Malta. Who should I stay with?" It's, I think, it's a challenge that everybody is dealing with now.
That's an
Okay, then. So,
opportunity.
yeah, it's a challenge and an opportunity, 100%. So, what do you love most about hosting?
Oh, the word hosting. I think there's something so special about the word hosting. And again, also we have learned that we sometimes think that because you're growing so fast, like one of our aims is to scale, but to remain boutique. And people used to think that just because you scale, then it's just going to become very cold. And what they tend to forget is that this is what technology busts, basically. This is a myth that technology is busting, because you can remain boutique and scale very fast as well with tech on your side. So I think that would be my answer there. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, then, Sab, we've got a few more quickfire questions to throw at you
Ooh,
now. So, which PMS does Zing use?
guesty.
Okay. Which dynamic pricing tool do you use?
Priceless?
Okay. Which piece of tech couldn't you live without?
Boom.
Oh, boom. Okay. In an ideal world, pets, yes or no at your properties?
Okay, here, this is fire questions, but here I just need a second. Okay, so get the operational part right, create the processes, protocols to be able to accommodate whatever the guest wants. Don't limit. Don't limit. It's hard. And in the beginning, we used to say straight no, no pets. But if there is an audience, make it happen.
I like that. Good answer. Hot tubs, yes or no?
Same guest wants it, we'll create an operational structure whereby we can support that with the right people, of course.
Do you prefer to offer self check-in or a personal welcome?
So we're tech first. So we're all about self-check-in. However, the journey we are on, because of course there are a ton of benefits of giving freedom and flexibility. And for us at Zing, if a guest manages to book, stay, and leave without speaking to us, obviously there is success there. However, in a particular part of our collection, especially when it comes to the villas and the more luxury properties, if a guest requests a welcome, then we should be able to tick that box. So just like with the pets question and hot tub, I would say if a guest wants that, we are here to make that guest happy.
Telephone call or AI response?
Combination of both. This is what I am most proud of for 2025 at Zing, our Zoe, our AI agent. I think we've built her with a lot of empathy, a lot of friendliness. So there has to be a combination of both. And also now coming up calls with AI as well.
What's your most memorable hosting moment?
Memorable hosting. You know what I would say in the beginning of my journey at Zing, when I was I wouldn't say against, I was challenging the concept of a welcome basket. And so I was speaking to this guest who asked us, because for us it's really important, no matter your role, always speak to guests to understand, to know they are the heart and soul of why we are here. So you need to keep that connection. Anyway, and this guest asked us for restaurants who have non-alcoholic options. Right? Now, a good guest experience executive would just give that list. Thank you very much. See you soon in Malta. A great guest experience executive would make sure that there is no wine in her welcome baskets. Because how frustrating or careless or nothing about kind of we exist because of you is that? Right? And so the cookie cutter approach would say, same wine basket across all properties because this is so easy. Spend a whole day packing welcome baskets and you're set for the week. But I think, again, putting intention and purpose behind every stay, and this is why I mentioned the sprinkling of clues, right? She was telling us that she does not drink alcohol. So this is what, and that remains a lesson that was a lesson for me and that I still share with the team.
I think that's a really good point. I remember actually when I started hosting and we used to leave a bottle of wine for guests when they arrived, and often it wouldn't get drunk. And sometimes it's because the guests, they don't drink alcohol for whatever reason, whether it's cultural, whether it's health reasons or whatever. And sometimes it would just get left. We stopped doing it in the end, but yeah, your point is absolutely valid. And I stayed at a place last week and there was a welcome basket and it had my favorite sweets in it. So I thought it was great. I thought it was wonderful. Like when you walk in and you see it, you're like, oh, it's great. It kind of, yeah, it makes you more likely to give that 5-star review, I think. But I can see, what the point is, you've just got to know what your guest wants. And if you've got those clues, then act on them. And of course, that's that. I guess you need the systems, but you need the people in place to do that, right? You need the people in the place to think, all right, I've clocked that, so now I need to go and amend the gift basket.
And you need to give the people the freedom to have this time. So this is why AI plays such an important role as well, because you want guest experience executives to really kind of get a whole buzz, and that for them it's fun to be able to act like they're detectives and kind of figure out who is this guest, what can I ask the guest to find out what would make this stay different. I think also just how do you want to be treated, right? Again, how would you want to be treated? And anyone who could kind of make my stay a tiny bit better than I had planned it, wow, they'd get a review very quick. Yeah, a good review, very quick.
Very much so. Okay, then shout out time. Is there an individual in the short-term rentals industry who's helped you that you'd like to give a shout out to?
At the moment, I think we work very closely with, as I mentioned before, the Boom Brothers, all of them and their team. I think we can scale so confidently and we're setting the speed to how we want to scale only because of technology. I think they've also given us a certain peace within the team that tech is being handled so we can really focus on what we know how to do best, which is the management of the properties and then the delighting of guests, I think. So my shout out would be to them, because every time they roll out a new feature, we are very hungry to jump on that.
Fantastic shout out for Boom. Questions finished then. Ultimate goal for the business?
Ultimate goal is to continue to scale. I think we are really now a bit more comfortable in the pace that we have set, but to remain boutique. I think this is one of my personal purposes. So if I can leave my mark at Zing, this would be it, to make people feel that they are one and not one of. I think the constant reminders that this is holiday time and people chose you and it's special, and there could be like a wedding proposal coming up or they're just running away because they need some time to escape. There is a story that is being said. And it is our privilege to be a part of it.
Great way to finish. Sab, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you for joining us on the podcast, and thanks for being part of the Host Planet Playbook.
James, thank you. I really appreciate, and it's so fantastic that there's this community of individuals who want to share their knowledge and experience. Really happy to be part of this project. Thank you.
All right, that's it for today's episode. My thanks to Sab for sharing her journey and for being part of the Host Planet Playbook. Remember, this series is brought to you in partnership with Hospitable, the all-in-one property management software designed to save you time and help your business thrive. Hospitable automates your guest messaging, syncs your calendars across platforms, handles team tasks, and so much more, so you can focus on delivering a top-notch guest experience or just get some of your time back. And here's the good news. Host Planet Playbook listeners get an exclusive 14-day free trial plus 25% off for the first 3 months. Head to hospitable.com/hostplanet to claim your offer and start running your rentals on autopilot. For more free education for vacation rental hosts, head to houseplanet.club, where you can sign up for our newsletter, listen to our podcasts, and download our suite of ebooks. Until next time, happy hosting.